The fluorescent lights of the grocery store hummed overhead as Sophie Chen stood at the checkout counter. Her 18-month-old daughter, Maya, balanced on her hip, counting change from her wallet with trembling hands. At 29, Sophie was a single mother working 2 part-time jobs, and this week had been particularly brutal. Unexpected car repairs had decimated her already tight budget. The cashier rang up her meager items: a gallon of milk, a box of cereal, baby food, and bread. $23.47. Sophie had $22.63. She stared at the change in her palm, doing quick mental math, trying to figure out which item she could eliminate. The milk was essential. Maya needed it. The baby food was essential. Everything was essential. "I'm sorry," Sophie said quietly, her face burning with embarrassment. "Can you take off the bread? I miscalculated." Behind her in line, a man in a dark jacket watched the scene unfold. He was maybe 35, well-dressed in an understated way, and he had been observing Sophie's careful budgeting, the way she counted every penny, the exhaustion in her eyes. As the cashier reached for the bread, the man stepped forward and handed his credit card to the cashier. "I'll cover it. All of it." Sophie spun around, startled. "No, I can't accept that, please," the man said gently. "Let me help." "I don't take charity," Sophie said, her pride warring with her desperation. Maya squirmed in her arms, reaching for the shiny card in the stranger's hand. "It's not charity. It's one person helping another during a hard moment." The man's voice was kind but firm. "We've all been there. Please, let me do this." Sophie felt tears sting her eyes. She wanted to refuse, wanted to maintain her dignity, but she also needed that bread and did not have the money for it. "Thank you," she whispered. "I don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything." The man paid for Sophie's just covering the difference, but the entire amount, and then paid for his own items as they walked toward the exit together. Maya babbling happily, the man spoke again. "Can I ask you something? And please feel free to say no." Sophie looked at him warily. "Okay, do you need help finding better employment? I own a marketing firm. We're always looking for talented people, and you clearly have determination and resilience. Those are the qualities I value most." Sophie laughed bitterly. "I have a high school diploma and 2 years of community college I couldn't finish because I got pregnant. I don't think I'm qualified for a marketing firm." "What did you study in community college?" "Graphic design. But I never finished the program." The man pulled out a business card. "I'm Andrew Mitchell, Mitchell Marketing Group. We need junior designers. The pay is decent, benefits are good, and we have flexible hours for parents. Come in for an interview. Even if we don't hire you, maybe I can point you toward some resources that might help." Sophie took the card, stunned. "Why are you doing this?" Andrew was quiet for a moment. "Because 15 years ago, my mother stood in a checkout line counting change for groceries while I sat in the cart, probably about your daughter's age. A stranger paid for our food. My mother cried in the parking lot, partly from gratitude, partly from shame. That stranger told her, 'Pay it forward when you can.' I've been trying to do that ever since." Sophie felt her throat tighten. "I will pay you back, don't pay me back. Get a better job, get stable, and then help the next person who needs it. That's how this works." Sophie did interview at Mitchell Marketing Group. She was nervous, showed up with Maya because she couldn't afford a babysitter, and was certain she would not get the job. But Andrew had been serious. Her partial design education, combined with raw talent and work ethic, was exactly what they needed. "The job is yours if you want it," Andrew told her after reviewing her portfolio of self-taught design work. "Starting salary is $55,000 with full benefits. We have on-site childcare that's subsidized for employees. Can you start in 2 weeks?" Sophie cried. Actual tears in the interview, which she was certain was unprofessional, but she could not help it. Yes, thank you. I don't know how to thank you. Do good work. That's all the thanks I need. Over the following months, Sophie proved to be an exceptional designer. But more than that, she and Andrew developed an unexpected friendship. He learned about her ex-boyfriend, who had left when she got pregnant, about her struggles as a single mother, about her dreams of finishing her degree someday. Sophie learned that Andrew was the lonely CEO his employees whispered about, brilliant, successful, but isolated. His long hours and dedication to work had cost him his marriage 3 years earlier. He had no children, few close friends, and spent most evenings alone in his office. "Why did you really help me that day?" Sophie asked one evening when they were working late on a project together. Maya was playing in the office daycare, visible through the window. "I told you, someone helped my mother." "No, I mean really. There's more to it than that." Andrew was quiet for a long moment. "Because I saw myself in you. Not the struggling single mother part obviously, but the desperate determination, the refusal to give up even when everything is falling apart, the fierce protection of what matters most." He looked through the window at Maya playing. "I've spent years building a company, accumulating wealth, and I'm profoundly lonely. You have so little, but you're rich in the ways that actually matter. I wanted to help because helping you made me feel less empty." Sophie felt something shift between them, not pity or power imbalance, but genuine connection between two people who understood each other's loneliness from different angles. "Can I tell you something?" Sophie said. "I was terrified of you at first. The wealthy CEO who paid for my groceries felt like a fairy tale that would turn into something with strings attached. But you've never asked for anything, never made me feel lesser, never treated me like a charity case. You saw me counting pennies, and, instead of judging, you helped. That changed everything." 6 months after Andrew had paid for Sophie's groceries, he asked her to dinner, not as employer and employee, but as to people who had somehow found friendship in the fluorescent-lit aisle of a grocery store. "I need to be honest about something," Andrew said over dinner at a modest restaurant Sophie had chosen. "I think I'm falling in love with you, not because I helped you, not because of some power dynamic, but because you're funny and talented and you remind me what actually matters. But I don't want you to feel pressured. If this is just friendship for you, I'll respect that completely." Sophie smiled through tears. "I've been falling for you too, but I was scared you only saw me as the struggling single mum you rescued. I needed to know you saw me as an equal. You're more than my equal. You're raising a child alone, working hard, building a life from nothing. I'm just a guy with money who forgot how to connect with people. You taught me how to do that again." 1 year after Andrew had whispered, "I'll cover it in a grocery store checkout line," he proposed appropriately, in that same store, in that same checkout lane. "You were counting pennies for milk. You had 84 cents less than you needed. I saw you, and saw courage, and determination, and love for your daughter." Andrew knelt with the ring as Sophie, holding Maya, cried, "I thought I was helping you that day. Instead, you saved me from a life of lonely success. Will you marry me? Will you let me be Maya's father and your partner? Will you keep teaching me that wealth is measured in love, not money?" Through tears, Sophie said yes. "But only if you promise to always remember that grocery store, that you saw someone struggling and chose compassion, that you didn't just pay for my groceries, you changed my life by seeing my potential instead of my circumstances." "I promise," Andrew said. "How could I forget? You were counting pennies, and I was counting the empty years I'd spent achieving success that meant nothing. We saved each other." At their wedding, with Maya as flower girl, Sophie's vows made everyone cry. My husband paid for my groceries when I was 84 cents short. He could have just covered the difference. Instead, he paid for everything, offered me a job, and believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. Thank you, Andrew, for seeing past my circumstances to my potential. Thank you for teaching me that accepting help isn't weakness, it's the beginning of connection. If this story reminded you that small acts create big changes, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment about when someone's generosity changed your path.